Today I want to show you how I made this very simple, quick to make, portable, knockdown work table, workbench, something that you can use for projects, and when you don't want it around, it's easy to take apart and store. You can carry it if you have a booth at a flea market or something, or a table at a elementary school presentation or something. It's a great table. Now, first, let me just point out, I am not a great cabinet maker or carpenter. I have to do things very simply. Second, I don't have much in the way of tools. No table saw, no bandsaw. I build everything I build with a jigsaw and a drill. Actually, two drills. One to drill pilot holes, one to drill in decking screws. So, with just these tools, I use cleats, okay? I look at a lot of plans, and for people that do fine work, and more power to you, I'm happy if you can do it. Dovetails, mortise and tenon, lots of fancy stuff. I don't have the tools for it. I don't have the patience for it. I don't have the eyesight for it. So I use 2x4 cleats, screwed in to 3/4 inch plywood with decking screws. And those cleats grip another piece of 3/4 inch plywood, and then 2 more cleats down here to grip the shelf. Now, the structure of this, since it's knock apart, is I drill holes in the bottom and I use a Spanish windlass design, which is basically just 550 paracord threaded through these 1/2 inch holes, and I have a piece of bamboo as a toggle. You could use a 1/2 inch piece of dowel, but I'd make sure it's a hardwood dowel because it's under quite a bit of stress. And then once I have it in place, it's a simple matter to tighten it just by turning it. Okay, that will tighten it. It pulls the sides in on this center shelf and gives it structure, gives it sturdiness. Lastly, and you'll see more of this in a moment, I have 2 more holes in the back, and I cross 2 more pieces of paracord. Okay, so 1/2 inch holes, and again, bamboo toggles. You could use dowel rods to tension with. At first I thought I needed a peg to keep it from twisting, but I don't. Just the friction alone will keep these tightened. So if you hang on to I'll show you how I built this. Very quick and easy, and I'm especially hope you are interested in how I use the paracord as a structural tightening device. A little simpler than using pegs, at least for someone with limited woodworking ability.
Okay, here are my basic wood cuts for this project. The top is a 20 inch by 48 inch piece of 3/4 inch plywood. The 2 pieces to the left are the side pieces. They are 17 inch 3/4 inch plywood, 17 inch by 35 inches long, and to the right are 8 cleats, 2x4 cleats, 17 inches long. I have 1 more piece yet to cut, and that will be the lower shelf, but I have to wait till this is assembled before I measure for that bottom piece.
Here's the top with the cleats added. Here are the legs or the sides with the cleats added. I put an arch in the bottom of the legs. That will give it some stability if you're on an uneven surface. I drilled a 1/2 inch hole in the lower center here, the corner, and 1 top corner. And you'll see what that's for in a moment. Okay, and just remember to make sure when you put your cleats in, you're doing it such that it'll be a snug fit. So you might want to use a piece of 3/4 inch plywood just to make sure your cleats are tight, but then far enough apart. So now let's just assemble this. Okay, this is the rough assembly here. I made this center shelf a little larger than the space between this cleat and that cleat because I want to create some tension. Now, what do I mean by creating tension? Okay. I'm using standard paracord. Okay. I tie it. I've already pre-measured this. I'm using bamboo here. You could use a 1/2 inch dowel. I don't recommend anything smaller than a 1/2 inch because it won't be strong enough to hold. So I put this knot through the hole. Okay. And put the bamboo through here. Now, as you can tell, a lot of slack here. So I have to turn it to build up some tension. There's naturally a flat side to bamboo. I like to have that at the bottom. So it's this simple. Just turn this toggle. Creates a tension on this paracord. This is my version of, I think, what's called a Spanish windlass. Okay, that feels pretty tight. One more. Now, I'm going to raise this up. Okay, I made it with 35-inch tall legs. I'm 6'3". This is a good working height for me. Probably for most people, you might drop it to, say, 33-inch legs to get a little lower height here. Okay, so here we have the portable table. But if you notice, there's a little bit of side-to-side racking. Okay, I could put in gussets in the corners, put in L brackets to tighten it up, but I'm going to do something a little more simple. I drilled holes on the back of this. So I poked the knot through. I've already measured this. Tighten it up. Okay, here is my knockdown work table, easily transported, lightweight. Here it is as a potting bench.